top and then move our way down to the lower back. So we're going to start off by just reviewing that back drape. So we're going to fold over the blanket first. And then we're going to keep the sheet nice and close to her body and drape her back. And again, this blanket is really important. So if you don't have a blanket, you can use a hand towel or something else. Another thing that you'll note on women especially, it takes off a lot of pressure if you get like a rolled hand towel or a pillow and put it underneath. You can just relax. You can put it underneath kind of like their lower back, mid to low back, kind of in this groove, and I'm going to actually use another one too. So I'm using these pillowcases, but you can use other things like a little pillow. So it just kind of takes a little bit of pressure off of their hips and back. So this looks great, If you wanted to bring their arm out at this point, you could do that. If it's a little bit cold where you're at, you can leave the arm in. We will need to eventually bring the arm out though. So I'm going to have Nicole, let's have you reach up and then over. Yes, and just hug onto that pillow. You'll notice that pillow is really helping with our draping. So that's why it's important that we have 2 pillows, sometimes even 3 pillows, to make sure that they are secure with their draping, and also that they have the support that they need. Any questions before I move on? Would one of you like to kind of, do you want to let me know if there's any questions? Okay, awesome. So I'm assuming that we're good. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is apply some lotion or oil, whatever you have is fine. So we're going to apply a little bit to our hand, warm it up in our hands, and then just apply it. And you'll notice I'm at the head of the table, and I'm maintaining good body mechanics by making sure that my wrist is not compromised. So we want to make sure that it's in a neutral position. So we're just doing a nice effleurage stroke. We're going to walk around so that we're facing our client now. We can do some more effleurage and then work our way into petrissage. And this is just basically us applying the lotion or oil to their body. You want to make sure that you continually move your whole body, so it should be almost like a dance. We can start moving in using different tools. I'm going to stroke down. If it feels like your table is too high, that's when maybe like you're not quite able to get over, maybe your lower back is hurting. I've got my table there's 3 showing from the bottom. I could probably put this table down 1 lower, and I'm 5, 6. If it does feel like you're compromising your body mechanics, go ahead and just use a different tool. You can use your forearm now. Working your forearm. You're starting to see a little bit of redness in through the upper body, and that's good. That's what we want. Now we can go through and use a more specific tool, and this is going to be more difficult if your table is up too high. If your table is up too high, go ahead and walk around to the other side and try to do these techniques, maybe using your forearm or even that point between your forearm and elbow. But in this position, we can go ahead and work on the ribs really well, rhomboids. And basically, I'm using my finger pads, using supported finger pads. This area can be really tender. It's not an area that we tend to work on when we're in the prone position. position. But in the sideline position really is optimal for working in through the ribs. And we can continue that stroke all the way down until almost to the spine, but just where the rectors are along the spine. Can you all see the stroke, or would you like a zoomed in view? They're good? Okay. Zoom in a little more? Could you zoom in a little bit more with your camera? Okay, so just get really close to my hands. Yeah, and you'll notice that I'm using the supported finger pad, so my fingers are slightly bent, and I'm starting right here, and then we can go all the way down. And we'll kind of feel like a bunching. That's where the erectors are kind of bunching up against the spine, and then we'll lighten up. And we can go up and use more of like a raking technique too. Now, this can be tender, even though it doesn't feel like we're using a lot of pressure, which it's all relative to each person. I want to check in. So, how's that pressure, Nicole?
It's a little deeper.
A little deep? Okay, so we can use lighter pressure, or we can use a less specific tool. So our finger pads are very specific. So if we were to go in and use our palm, is that okay? Good. Then it's going to feel more broad and more relaxing. So you've got different options depending on your client. Okay. We can also use like our forearm, which actually we think forearm deep tissue, but actually using your finger pads is probably going to be more intense than using your forearm, just because it's a broader tool. Or actually probably using more pressure with the forearm, but because it's not as specific, it's not going to feel as deep to the client. So I'm kind of just alternating forearm and then using my other hand to pull up. Just a nice pet dressage, okay? Okay, so this next technique, and I'm showing you techniques that you put in your toolbox, and then later on when we do a full body massage, you can choose which techniques to choose. So I definitely, when I do a prenatal massage, I don't like go, okay, this is like I'm going to do this technique and then this other technique. It's all kind of meshed together. It's, a prenatal massage is a lot like a Swedish with connectivity. So you want to make sure that you constantly have that connection with the client. So this next technique, I'm going to go ahead and hook my arm underneath her elbow, just like this. And then I'm going to grab onto her shoulder girdle. And if you are working on a client who is much larger than yourself, this is going to be a difficult technique. It's also going to be difficult if you have the table up too high. So if it is kind of compromising any of your body mechanics, go ahead and skip it, and then maybe try lowering your table next time to see if it makes a difference. But basically, I'm going to hook my arm under, and then I'm going to grab onto the shoulder girdle, and then I'm going to do a nice rotation just to mobilize that shoulder. And you can do it both directions. You want to be mindful of their hands, so just make sure that you're not going to smack them in the head. If you are concerned about that, you can move their arm a little bit more, so that way they get more of a stretch. We're just going to rotate, continually rotate. And it's important to keep that rhythm. And you'll notice this stroke, I'm using my whole body, even using my legs.